Today, I'm here to remind you that you need to watch what you put into your mind. And I recently got reminded of this very recently. But first, before I give that example, I just want to dig deep into this because this is on the topic of information consumption, right? The question I have for you is what kind of narratives are you feeding yourself? And the thing is that these narratives can come in many forms. It's not, obviously, like, let's just say the majority of it is like video and whatnot and what you read online and stuff like that. But it's also who is the speaker? Who is the teacher? And like what are the attitudes that the teacher just embodies? How does the teacher choose to see reality? And what movies do you let yourself watch? Do you watch movies that facilitate your own personal narratives of what you think reality is? It's funny, a lot of times we will, because we have the choice to watch whatever we want now, we will unconsciously silo ourselves into a bubble, into, the kind of mindsets that we are comfortable with embodying, right? Because if we're consuming the content of someone that is doing more than us, showing up more than us, we can create that cognitive dissonance, and, we can either continue with that uncomfortable feeling of cognitive dissonance, or we can jump on the bandwagon, right? And so it is in who you follow do you have to watch out for, and also what kind of content you consume. And this was made very clear to me the other day. So for me personally, I am an individual, so this is just my personal example, my personal experience. From probably most other people, it's way different. But this idea for this topic came to mind when I watched like a scary movie, like a week ago now, and there I am, like at night, like uncomfortable, like lying in the dark, literally putting on my flashlight, like checking around my bed, checking under my bed, like I'm 5. It's funny because in my mind, there is no separation between the fantasy of, what's on the screen and the reality of what's, here and now. And I want to just share that with you because I realize that our subconscious cannot actually tell the difference between an experience that is synthetic and an experience that is actual. Obviously, the experiences that are more actual, that are more in our direct experience, more lifelike, are going to have a greater impact. However, this is why visualization even works, where you're not even technically seeing anything, you're just imagining it. Because the mind cannot tell the difference between a generated synthetic experience and an actual experience. So when I saw that scary movie, it's like, my mind, my rational mind is like, oh yeah, that's not real. But then my subconscious is like, that is totally fucking real. Check under the bed, like it might be, that monster might be there or whatever, right? And it's like, I think about like, oh, that's how it's like with every other piece of content that I consume. With a scary movie, it's more pronounced, right? It's like where I feel that need, but then that fear and whatnot, fear of the dark and all that shit. But I realize like that probably happens, at a unnoticed level with everything else I consume. When I consume pieces of content of people's mindset, right? There's that suggestion there. That's why, like, just watching other people do it, like David Goggins doing his crazy feats of endurance and, mindset, right? You see, like, those Wes Watsons out there, or people with positivity like Ralph Smart or Wayne Dyer, or, God knows who else, right? Whoever is your person, who's your favorite influencer, they leave that imprint on us. And it is stirring around in your subconscious. And it makes me think about people with ideologies, like, incel ideologies, red pill, black pill, all these, I think MGTOW, or MGTOW, and just all these toxic ideologies, and these pieces of content will actually influence how you perceive reality more than you can even imagine, and also, like, the level of consciousness of the people that you're around, right? So there's a lot of, themes I'm pulling here. You are who you are around. Watch your information intake. Watch the ideologies that you might pick up, stuff like that. But I just really want to make this poignant. I want to make this explicit, where I think we massively underestimate just how much our mind chugs along on the things we feed it. If we're feeding our mind reasons to be a victim, then that is what we will feed the grist. That's the grist that we will feed for the mill. Whatever stories you feed your mind, that is what your mind will chew on. And so, for example, with that scary movie, my mind was just chewing on processing that movie, and then as a result, I was like more scared of the dark for a while and stuff like that, And I realized, like, fuck, that's probably what's going on with fucking everything else I consume, just at a more unnoticeable level, because I'm not fucking actually checking under my bed. And I really realized that, like, that I need to embody, and hopefully you can take this idea as well and run with it, where you need to embody this mindset that, like, the mind isn't the ultimate echo chamber. And we need to remember that whatever we feed our mind, whatever experiences we let our mind have, or whatever experience we will go through, our mind will continually run it over and over and over until it resolves it, until it's integrated it, right? So for the bad experiences, how are you going to choose to perceive it? How are you going to choose to process it, right? One way, if you have like a bad day, or, so you meet someone rude or whatever, right? And it kind of throws you off a little bit. One of my coping mechanisms for like a negative experience is I will do like a really intense workout, and I will work out so hard that I will become present. And then I will install the new beliefs. I will desensitize the old, and I will install the new. I will install what I want to believe about that situation. It's all about reframing, right? Reality is all about how you frame it. And with whatever you feed your mind, assume that it's going to stir in there and be a constant echo chamber, hundreds of thousands of times. So be a lot more wise with what you allow yourself to consume. And with that, I would like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.